Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's afternoon for me, so I have not made a video in a while, and as always, I am blessed and thankful that I have the ability to do so. So here I am with another video. 85.7%. You'll see that in the title, or you saw that in the title before you clicked on this video. Currently, as of the weekend that just passed, now today is Monday and I have not done the data today. You can find me on a podcast called Stats for the People. So, Stats for the People. And what I talk about is data. Now, yes, it's a lot of the COVID right now, 19 data currently, but I'll eventually go into other things and I talk about things. I'm going to talk about secession numbers and so forth and so on. I just like numbers. What can I tell you? I like data. I don't know. I'm a former inventory person. I love inventory. But anyways, 85.7%. This is the first big number. This is the first good number before we get to the other good numbers briefly. 85.7% of all seniors, so 16 above, that's how I categorized it. I think AARP's at 55, but I that's 60. So 85.7% of 60 and above who got COVID survived COVID. That's a number we're not talking about. So for people over 60, 85.7% of those who got it survived it to this point. That's good. So here's the thing, and people say, oh, well, this vaccine will finally go upwards. Okay. On October 13th, I had done a podcast. I did not do a video, but I did a podcast. October 13th, the number was 78.9% of people over 60 survived. We are now at 85.7, and that's without the vaccine. So we're nearly 7% better. So if we're getting better, why do we need something? Now, I'm not saying I'm an anti-vaxxer or I'm pro or for it, or I'm just saying let's logically look at this. If something is getting better, you know the old saying, if it ain't fixed, don't break it, but Stephen, people are dying. I am aware of that. I am aware of that fact. How could you not be? And we talk about the numbers. You know I was going to make this short video, but I'll go a few minutes longer, even though this will probably get banned because it'll get taken down because apparently they don't like the truth. And this is not my opinion. This is not an opinion piece. This data comes from the Department of Health in Connecticut. So I am talking about the Connecticut seniors. This is from the Department of Health. This is not some far right, far left, far whatever. This is from the state of Connecticut. So it's their numbers. So if you tell me that I'm making things up and you want to fact check me and say, oh, this is it's just a non-viable source. Okay, well then you just told everybody the Connecticut Department of Health is wrong. Therefore the CDC's got to be wrong. Let's use our brain here. So we've gone up. So I don't have the numbers in front of me. I did a podcast the other night on this, but basically over 5,000 deaths. We're looking at what? 90 in Connecticut. 99.7% of the state is red, right? Which I'm baffled by because a lot of cases went up. So 3.9% of the tests led to cases. So of all those tests, just shy of 4% became cases. We know that long-term care facilities make up a roughly 60% of all deaths. We know 60 and above make up of over 90% of the deaths. Now here in Connecticut, there was an interesting situation where there was, for the longest time, 0 to 9 years old. And yes, I've been following this, and I follow other states as much as I can, but since I live here in Connecticut, I pay a lot of attention to it. But it was between 0 and 9, there was one death. And then there was between 10 and 19, there was another one death. Well, here's the interesting thing. About 4 or 5 days ago, from 0 to 9, it went up to 2 deaths. And then Friday, it was 1 death. It seems a little odd to me, you know. And that 0 to 9 shouldn't even be a death because that was actually retracted also, but they never took it off the site. So anyways, going beyond that, let us look at the positive numbers here. We already know under 60. I'm not even going to break down the percentages and tell you what they are, mostly because I don't have the paper with me, but it's 99.8 or so. I don't know what it is. I forget now. But the important number, because we're always yelling and screaming about we're killing grandma, 85.7% of those who get COVID survive. That's a fantastic number. So no longer do you have to have faith over fear and just say it on a mask. You can statistically and spiritually have faith over fear. You have a high rate, and it's going to only get better. Even though the case has gone up and the death's gone up. It's funny, hypertension is one of the main ones. What causes hypertension? The stress and all this. So if we're stressing out and anxiety about the fact that we have COVID, we're going to probably get diagnosed with hypertension, die of COVID-19. Hello? Sorry. Small rant. Apologize. But let's use our brain here. Let's logically look at this. And I'm running into people in my daily life who have no idea that those numbers exist. They say, like, oh, I don't even know where you can get the numbers. There's nowhere to get them. I'm confused by them. Like, you can go on your state's Department of Health and they break down the numbers. Some are a little, sketchy. You have to break down a percentage, divide, and multiply. But it's there. It's there. So again, I do have a podcast, Stats for the People. And you can find me mostly on Spotify. I think I'm on Breaker. I'm on 7 different platforms. I don't know which ones they are. I should have been prepared for that. But 85.7% of seniors. Yeah, you can truly have faith over fear. Thank you for tuning in as always. God bless. Be safe, of course. And tip your hat. Smile at someone and tell them that they have a high chance of living. Good night.